Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing Seattle Sounders 4, Colorado Rapids 0 on opening weekend, match 1 on Sunday night. MLS 2023 opening weekend, the second to last match of the weekend. Of course, we'll do Monday night, of course, Portland versus SKC, but Seattle, the other half of Cascadia, slaps up on the Colorado Rapids tonight. And if most casuals would say, well, the scoreline, I guess, told the story. In this case, you'd be right. Normally, the scoreline doesn't really tell the story in my book. But tonight it did, because Colorado got slapped. And they were very unlucky in front of goal, especially in the second half as well. Not that it would have got them a win. It definitely would have got them closer and a little bit more respectable and not slapped up. But they still would have lost, even if they were lucky in front of goal. With that being said, goals are scored as follows in the 25th minute. Christian Roldan puts a header on and gets defender overruns. So Roldan can freely jump to the rebound, and Roldan heads that in past Yarbrough to make it 1-0 Seattle. Then in the 45th minute, ball played in. Jordan Morris, all he has to do is flop like a fish, diving header in, near post past Yarbrough. 2-0 for Seattle. That's the way we go into half. 2-0, and honestly, it should have been worse because Roldan had a goal offside because Morris started the run barely offside, which you could say it may not have been. So it should have been 3, maybe 4, and Seattle were just dominating. Once they got that offside goal, they were on fire. They were on a wave in this match, and it never really stopped, or the momentum never really switched back to the Rapids. They stayed sloppy. The game started sloppy in the first 25 minutes. But after Seattle got that offside goal, they were like, okay, we got a foot on their throat. Let's keep it there. And then they officially had their foot on the gas, and they just kept going. The game never got out of their hands after that point, and also after they scored the first goal. Then in the second half, Hebert scores, 53rd minute. Ball falls to Hebert. He taps it in past Yarbrough to make it 3-0. And another fault of Lalas Abubakar. A lot of the goals were on him specifically tonight. Probably the worst player on the pitch out there on both sides of the field. And then Jordan Morris, ball crossed in off the header, gets to Jordan Morris. He heads it in at the far post. And it makes it 4-0 in the 82nd minute. And that's the way it would end. Seattle wins 4-0. Colorado never even had a prayer. And on the day, Seattle just went and kept their foot on their throat, kept the foot on the accelerator, the gas pedal, and they just kept going. I said Seattle should start the season on the front foot with a jump start over most of the Western clubs and most of the MLS clubs because of that Club World Cup game, that hard-fought game against Al Ahly. And it looks like that is the situation. But even then, João Paulo didn't play much of that game. He played a lot. He played the whole game today. Most of it, if not, I think most of it. But João Paulo played a lot, and he is that difference maker. Part of the reason Seattle didn't make the playoffs last year was a lot of injuries, but especially the injury to João Paulo. When João Paulo's on the pitch, Seattle's a different team. He's that good of a player, legitimately. And João Paulo bossed this game. João Paulo bossed this game, and they needed him back, and Seattle might just be back because João Paulo is back. So, with that being said, full-time stats, 15 shots to 10, 9 shots on goal to 2, 51% possession to 49% possession, 79% possession to 80% possession, 457 passes to 447 passes, 9 fouls to 15, 3 offside to 0, 0 yellow cards to 1, 0 red cards to 0, and 6 corners to 5. Seattle just absolutely, again, dominated this game. The book hit the leg of this thing. Seattle dominated this game. Seattle, legitimately, the scoreline is exactly what this game was. Unlike most times, I hate to say that the scoreline is what the game was. That's exactly the story. No, tonight it was. Tonight, this game was a drubbing. This game was a slap. A savage slap, a power slap, if you will, to the Colorado Rapids. And I expected better out of the Rapids. I thought they would be great this year. Now, it's only game one. But the Sounders said, we're going to take our momentum from Club World Cup and build on it. And they should, in theory, have a leg up on everybody after playing that good a competition before their season starts. By the legitimate fact of it. They should, and they did. Seattle started off where they left off pretty much because they were playing well against Al Ahly. Heartbreakingly lost. Here, João Paulo starts in the midfield instead of Atencio. And honestly, João Paulo's still that guy. And no Rui Diaz, doesn't matter. Jordan Morris gets a brace. Roldan gets a goal. Maybe should have had a brace. Hebert scores in his Seattle MLS debut. And his more than 2-minute debut for the first time. He scores. A tap-in, but he scored. Seattle just had their foot on the gas the whole way through. Once the game stopped being sloppy, because the first 20 minutes were sloppy on both sides. The ball was going back and forth on the pitch. And there were sloppy moments on both sides. The Colorado midfield had some sloppy passes. Yarbrough looked bad early on. He nearly had a howler, which should have told you exactly what this game was going to be because Fry didn't have any problems at the back. Seattle had some bad midfield play, but once Seattle had the momentum and they grabbed the momentum about the 20th minute, especially after that offside goal, which could have had Roldan a brace, they never released that momentum. They scored a goal. They kept scoring. They kept their foot on the accelerator, on the gas, on Colorado's throat, and there was just no way they were letting up. They wanted this game. They wanted to make a statement that Club World Cup game, even though they lost, the fact it was so close, that it wasn't a fluke. They wanted to say they're back. And Seattle, at least for this year, they may rebuild going into 2024, but right now, they're taking their last shot. What could be their last shot? That's MLS Cup, at all that. They're taking their last shot. They're not going to give it away. It wasn't just them playing well in Club World Cup because that was the biggest thing that they're missing. No, they're going to play this way this year. They're going to play well. Even if they shouldn't. Even if next year it will not be the same. Things will change. They're playing exactly what they want to play this year. They're making a statement, and they made a statement tonight. Colorado, on the other hand, they just absolutely showed up limp and stayed limp. Legitimately. I guarantee you, this is not what they wanted to cook. This is not what the Rapids wanted to cook tonight. But, hey, them's the breaks, ain't it? Them's the breaks. You look at the football, and Prizo, I thought, played well. I'd say he was the best player on the Rapids tonight. I thought Prizo played well in the midfield. I guarantee you, if it was Mark Anthony Kaye, it would have been way worse. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. With that being said, I like the way this game played out for Seattle. Seattle played the best game that I've ever seen them play in a very long time. Or I'd say about a year. But even though CCL games weren't as dominant as this, they weren't. This was dominant. This was the Seattle that we've been missing for a while. They were dominant. They were strong. They were strong-willed, strong-hearted, strong play. This is what you want to see out of Seattle if you're a Seattle fan, and this is what the rest of the league hates. Seattle played the perfect game. They slapped up on the Rapids. They made a statement. They're not dead yet, Seattle. It's not over yet. It may be over in 2024. It may not be, but it's not over yet. They're not done yet by a long shot. Colorado, on the other hand, so that's sort of if I were you, Seattle. Colorado, if I were you, some soul searching might be needed because getting slapped like that on opening night or opening weekend is not the best way to go about things, especially when when I predicted you to be 4th in the West, and I thought you'd be much better this year, and I thought you'd be much improved. Cabral stays on the bench. Ralph Prizo was honestly your best player. and he didn't really do anything more than just pass the ball around a pretty good amount. Yarbrough's a joke of a goalkeeper. I know that's why you have Illich, but hopefully he gets healthy, or gets his visa soon, I should say, because he's healthy. It's his visa. Barrios was okay. Cabral should have played more. Abubakar, I don't know. That was just a horrible performance from Abubakar. Rosenberry looked okay. Max played well when he came on. They were very unlucky in front of goal in the second half, but that still would have been a 4-2 loss. So, not a great way to start the season, but hopefully Colorado could be better once things push on. So, yeah, that's how I'd feel if I were you. But with that being said, Seattle, the scoreline was exactly what this game was. So, the casuals will be right in this case. No paper pop, because I'm not getting a paper out of the printer just to pop it. Josh Pate style. I'm not doing it. So, Seattle, well-deserved win. Colorado needs some soul-searching, but I still believe you'll be good this year. It's only game one, but not a good way to start. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this on playlists. Share this with your friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you on Monday night. I know all my rowdy friends will be here for Portland versus SKC Monday Night Football special. But you got to get ready, because Monday night's going to be a good night. I'll be here for a live watch along and review of Portland versus SKC. Let's get ready. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.